fellow plant lovers, Mike's Greenhouse here. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to take Griselinia cuttings. The first thing with Griselinia cuttings is choosing the correct size cutting. So here I have 3 different cuttings. Now firstly I'm just going to focus on these 2. This one is a very small cutting and it's a lot shorter than this one. Now some might think that would make it more effective, however smaller cuttings have a smaller success rate. So cutting like this, you can try it, however you're less likely to get a good established plant than you are from one like this. So personally I'd throw this one away. Now we've narrowed it down to 2 cuttings. A test I like to do is see how bendy the stalk is. As you can see, this is bending, whereas this isn't bending quite as much. Now, this is because this is an older piece of growth. As you can see, I've already taken a cutting from this, and it's in fact gone woody. So while you could still root this, it takes a lot longer and it gives the plant a lot more chances to die. So once again, you want to throw this one away because it won't be useful. So finally, you have the right cutting. It's the right size and it's a softwood cutting. So you could just put it straight into the ground like that and it would indeed root. However, to speed up the process of rooting and also to increase the likelihood of the plant rooting, I recommend using some rooting powder like this. So when you're applying your rooting powder, I just dip the plant in, but don't pull piles out like this, because this won't be used. So get rid of that, and you just want to dip it in so that it picks up a bit of rooting powder like this. However, there aren't any piles that are just clinging to it. So I recommend dipping it about 1 to 2 centimeters into the rooting into the rooting powder, sorry, not compost. So dip it about 1 to 2 centimeters into the rooting powder or into the rooting gel if that's what you've decided to use. Now do not do this. If you do that, a lot of the rooting powder will be washed off. What you need to do is, once you've got enough rooting powder, make a hole with your finger and place the cutting into the hole, and then make sure that the cutting is firmly in place. So I have some other examples of cuttings which I will show you. This is a cutting I took last year using this exact method, and as you can see it has some very good root structure already. I potted these all into 9cm pots about a week ago and they're already doing really well thanks to the head start that this method gave them. If I did not use rooting powder to take this cutting, it probably wouldn't have half as many roots as it has now. So it just shows that using this method really does improve how many roots your plant gets, and also therefore improves the amount of leaf growth your plant gets. So my final point to make is where to keep the cuttings once you've taken them. I recommend that you store them in a shaded area. This way the pots don't lose too much water and then they won't dry out, because you need the pot to be constantly moist so that the cuttings have a really good chance to take root. And just one more thing before I end the video. When you're storing these pots, I recommend not to water them unless it's really hot, because you can also overwater them. Now, while the peat does help with that, the perlite, while the perlite does help with that, it's even better if you can have it so that it's got rainwater as well, because rainwater adds a slight amount of acidity, but it's also more natural, and it's what the plant would get if it were outside. And you also want to store it outside, so if it were in the ground you wouldn't go around watering it every day with a watering can. So unless it's particularly dry, I recommend just leaving it. So keep an eye on them. If the pots dry out at all, then make sure you water them. But other than that, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye.